Batman, on a level, you could be the greatest individual in football history.
We are back with another video. Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. Listen, man, where do we get started? But before we get started, make sure you guys like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, road to 6K and all that good stuff. Listen, man, we got taught an absolute footballing lesson by Man City. Like, I'll be honest, the 6-3 flatters us. 6-3 flatters us. The 2-3 goals that we got at the end, listen, man, it was because City took the foot off the gas. Martial, like, fair play to Martial, actually made an impact when he came on, but I think City had made like 4 changes in a row. They knew the game was done, and it was done. It was done in the first half. The first 10 minutes for me, we got taught an absolute footballing lesson that period. Absolute. Dalot, silly tackle, man. 2 minutes in, clatters Grealish. He's on a yellow. And after that point, you can't really do anything from a defensive viewpoint. You can't really make a tactical foul because you have to be a bit more careful. And I don't know why Dalot made that, but listen, Grealish had one of the games of his life for Man City so far. Every single time he got the ball, drove. And that's all he had to do, really. Kept going at Dalot, and then down that left-hand side, Bernardo Silva's movement was just so clever. He was so clever. In between the fullback and the centre-back, that's where, like, we were just so poor. We just couldn't track the runners. Scott McTominay, Ericsson, they just had to do better. Maybe Bruno Fernandes had to drop deep. They had to do better, and we just couldn't. Every single time City got the ball offensively, it looked like they were going to score. Midfield, that man right there on the screen, Ericsson, Bruno as well, Scott McTominay, expected the ball retention to be a lot better. We just couldn't keep the ball at all. And listen, you just need periods in games where you know things are going against us. Just a 5-minute or even like a 2-3 minute spell that would just slow the pace down a bit, keep the ball, and we just couldn't do that. And it's so disappointing, especially when you have a player like Ericsson, the quality he has. He was shocking today. Bruno Fernandes, there was times in the first half where it's like, okay, we might have a decent transitional moment here. Bruno Fernandes looks up, bang, blast it, City win the ball back, and all their crowd goes, "Allez," or whatever they were singing, man. It was so frustrating. And even, like, let's be honest, going into the game, they had no Rodri. You thought maybe would have had a bit more joy. Bruno Fernandes would have had a bit more joy. And I do think Bruno Fernandes did get himself into good positions at times. He just couldn't use the ball well. And then the biggest problem another problem I had here, and I keep saying this, our wing combination. Like, don't get me wrong, Anthony's goal, beautiful. Unbelievable finish. And that moment, listen, fair play to Anthony. I'll give him a lot of credit. But the rest of these lot, like, the rest of his game was shocking today. Absolutely shocking. So many times where you just want him to take his man on. Just keep the ball better. Like, that's something we associate with Anthony. Ball retention at times. And even Jadon Sancho on the other side couldn't do that. All we got, you wanted them to just be a bit more direct, a bit more quicker with it. Ball rolls, going back or losing the ball. And that's what I kept saying, yeah. As much as I don't think Alanga's better than Sancho for me, because he is not, Alanga should have started. And don't get me wrong, listen, we still lost. We would have lost with Alanga, but at least Alanga gives you that directness. We need pace and power out wide. We're playing a transitional game with, let's be honest, 2 ball-to-feet plays. Like, it was very, very frustrating watching Sancho and Anthony today. And listen, man, let's dig deeper into Sancho a bit. He was shocking today. Couldn't take his man on, lost the ball so many times. And that's something you associate with Jadon Sancho. Ball retention. Defensive viewpoint should have helped out a lot more as well. Malacia was struggling today. And even going forward, there was a second half where the ball came to Jadon Sancho. Could have taken it down. Just went past him. And it was a very, very good opportunity because he's literally one-on-one with Edison there. But listen, man, like, that's what you get. This is why people need to understand the importance of winger combinations. It might be good on paper. Sancho, good techie player. Anthony, good techie player. But sometimes we just need to be a bit more direct. You need that pace and power. And I do worry if you're going forward with that winger combination. I've always said it. I'm not the biggest fan. And listen, we paid big money. Anthony's there for starting. Sancho, listen, man. Martial looked good when he came on. Very, very good. Took his goals well. I think Martial will probably be the 9. Rashford has to move to the left in my eyes. He just has to. And then, listen, you just pick and choose games where you have to bring Sancho from a defensive viewpoint. Oh, my days, man. I don't even know what to say. Like, some of City's goals were just, you just have to hold your hands up and say, fair play. Fair play. Like Erling Haaland putting his ball, like that ball that he put in for Phil Foden. That's something we associate with Kevin De Bruyne, and Erling Haaland put that in, and it sensational. Like, we associate Erling Haaland with goal scoring and then he puts that ball in. You just have to put your hands up and just say fair play to Man City at times, innit? Phil Foden, I actually criticised him quite a lot going into this game, saying I thought maybe Phil Foden wasn't looking the same player that he was looking a couple of years ago. But listen, man, a hat-trick against my team, I have to say, fair play to him. Grealish, as I said, one of the best games of his life. Ilkay Gundogan, man, I thought that was a position that we could have really targeted today. As soon as I saw Rodri out, I was getting a bit confident, but listen, man, that's Ilkay Gundogan for you, man. That's Ilkay Gundogan, one of the best midfielders of the last 10 years. Keeps the ball so well. Lost the ball 4 times that entire game. Like, what are you meant to do? You can't get the ball off him. And from a defensive viewpoint, helped out relatively well. Kevin De Bruyne, listen, man. We are talking about one of the best midfielders of our generation in Kevin De Bruyne. That ball that he put in for Erling Haaland, like, there was literally no space for where Rafael Varane was positioned, and he still got it down to a T. And sometimes that's just the difference, isn't it? Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best players the Premier League's ever seen in that midfield area. Erling Haaland, one of the best strikers in world football. And we just don't have that technical quality yet. Like, we can't, for example, dominate games the way City do with someone like Scott McTominay on the pitch. And it's understandable. I think, I don't know what, like, the thing is, Erling Haaland is just so hard to stop. Like, how do you stop him? What, 3 goals, 2 assists, physical unit. Like, his acceleration and explosiveness is what I think United like quite a lot in that forward areas. And Erling Haaland has it down to a T. Any little half chance, any little time Jack Grealish got the ball, Phil Foden got the ball, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, he's on it. Like, he's on the move straight away and you just can't stop it. And that's where you have to say fair play. Frustrating of Rafa Varane got injured. Very, very frustrating. But I'll be honest, we knew there was going to be a point in the season where Rafa Varane was going to get injured. We just know it. Like, this is Rafa Varane. It's frustrating that's come so early after the international break, especially after he got arrested for France the last game. But what more can you do? He got injured. Victor Lindelof came on. I think even before Rafa Varane went off, we were losing 3-0. It didn't really change much in my eyes. Going forward, obviously, it's frustrating. Harry Maguire is obviously injured. I don't know for how long. I'm guessing if Harry Maguire is fit, then he probably comes back in. And we do lose that mobility that Rafa Varane provides. And listen, our defence is building a good partnership. But today, not much you can do. I think Malacia, as I said it, really, really struggled today. Really struggled. Like, Phil Foden was giving him a very, very tough time. As I said, I think Sancho could have helped out a lot better. But he just didn't. And we lost. I think Rashford at the top as well. Like, I praised Rashford quite a lot recently. But today, diabolical. Could not retain the ball at all up top. Every single time the ball went into him, bang, lost it straight away. But that's the difference, really. Every single time, even Erling Haaland, like, a lot of people obviously downplay Erling Haaland's link-up play and hold-up play. But every single time the ball went into Erling Haaland, bang, stuck with him, brought others into the play. And listen, even Erling Haaland, he don't really have that many touches. I think in the first half, before he scored, he might have had in the first half, he might have had the least amount of touches for Man City. But that's how they just utilise him. Every single time he gets the ball, bang, effective. But hey, listen, man, I really don't know what much more there is to say. We got taught a footballing lesson. City deserved all 3 points. Ten Hag, listen, man, he's going to have to change some stuff up. I think it was interesting that Luke Shaw came in at half-time. I think that was more because Malacia got a yellow. But as I said, I think that's the position they could fight for. Let's see what happens with Rafa Varane. Hopefully that injury is not long-term. It's frustrating, man. Martial, fair play. Martial was there for one of the positives. Like, Martial, credit to Erik ten Hag in terms of when Martial came on, Luke Shaw came on, and Casemiro came on. They didn't really lose the ball a lot between them 3 compared to what we saw in the first half. They did bring that bit more of a commanding presence. Like, Martial, most of the time, the ball, like, the way he rolled, I can't remember who fouled him for the penalty, but the way he rolled him, that's beautiful. Luke Shaw, like, we know Luke Shaw's technically secure. You can question it defensively all you want, but he's still a technically secure footballer. And Casemiro did bring that element of calmness. And listen, and obviously a bit more bite in the midfield. And it's going to be interesting now. Everton, next Premier League game, does Casemiro start? For me, now this is when you bring in the Casemiro. This is now, okay, we've had a good run with the side. We knew we might have had some issues, but you would say it's harsh to drop them. Next game, we need change from Eric Ten Hag. Sancho, let's see what he does. Oh, let's see what he does with the wingers. But listen, man, fair play to Man City. Fair play to Man City. Control the game from minute one. I don't know, man. Like, I'm shocked it was that bad. But as I said, we know where we are in this project. City are miles ahead of us. It was only 2 or 4 games ago that we got battered by Brentford. So I don't think this result should come as a massive shock. Maybe the performance came as a shock to me. Very disappointed in the players. But listen, man, you have to move. We got Europa League, regroup, get 3 points against Everton, and we'll see from there. But we got to talk footballing lesson, man. Listen, big up everyone for watching. Make sure you guys like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back tomorrow with Flawless, where we'll jump a bit deeper into this game, because I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. But big up everyone for watching. I'll be back soon.